This is Amy's story. Like millions, she transitioned from black coffee to matcha, 1 cup a day, every day. It was sold to her as the super fuel for her health, the perfect, sustained energy boost. But after 6 months, Amy wasn't energized. She was battling a chronic fatigue that left her absolutely grinding to a halt. It wasn't stress, it wasn't her diet, it was a silent medical mystery. After months of testing, her doctor delivered the most ironic, frustrating verdict: severe iron deficiency anemia. The paradox is brutal. The very drink she was downing to feel super healthy was slowly draining the life right out of her from the inside. What the hell is in this green powder that is capable of hijacking the most vital nutrient from your blood? The answer, as always, isn't in the trend. It's in the extreme phytochemistry of the leaf. Today, we are going to fully dismantle the matcha trap, revealing why consuming the entire leaf, pulverized and concentrated, is the perfect setup for lead, caffeine, and yes, the silent theft of your non-heme iron.
The heavy metal trap, cumulative morbidity. To understand the real danger, we must look at the anatomy of the leaf. You are not drinking tea, you are eating the leaf. When you brew traditional tea, the leaves are steeped and discarded. Most of the contaminants stay right there. But matcha is a micropulverization of the entire leaf. You swallow every single cell. And here's the problem they kept from you. The tea plant is a bioaccumulator. It is incredibly efficient at sucking up the good stuff from the soil and the truly terrifying stuff. We are talking about lead. This heavy metal is a natural contaminant in the soil of many tea-producing regions. By drinking the whole leaf, you are directly ingesting the toxic arsenal the plant extracted over months or even years. This isn't like a quick poison. This is silent, cumulative toxicity. 1 scoop a day isn't the issue, but 1 scoop a day for years, and it becomes a systemic risk. Lead is a brutal neurotoxin. It slowly accumulates in your bones and your brain, causing silent damage to your central nervous system. And, as if that weren't enough, it accelerates the breakdown of your kidneys. That is the price you pay for consuming the entire contaminant in your search for a superfood.
Added poison, pesticides, and disruptors. If the slow poisoning from the lead absorbed from the soil wasn't enough, the matcha leaf contains a second poison that was deliberately added. We are talking about pesticides and herbicides. Because these crops often lack strict regulation, especially in cheaper products, the leaves are exposed to high levels of agricultural chemicals. These compounds are literally designed to kill. Your body flags them immediately as toxins that must be neutralized. The problem is daily consumption. This chemical cocktail forces your liver and your kidneys, your internal filters, to pull constant overtime, utterly exhausting their capacity. But there's something worse. Many of these chemicals act as endocrine disruptors. This means they interfere with your hormones, sending false signals to your body and affecting everything from your metabolism to your reproductive health. The risk is chronic. This isn't a single shot of venom, but a toxic overload that slowly weakens your organs and throws your hormonal system completely out of balance.
The caffeine bomb and the L-theanine paradox. If the slow lead poisoning doesn't stop you, the caffeine just might. Matcha advertising promises a calm energy, but the chemistry of your dose doesn't lie. Here is the dosage shock. 1 standard scoop of matcha, about 1 teaspoon of powder, has on average 70 milligrams of caffeine. That's comparable to your average large cup of home-brewed black coffee. But the jolt is far more potent. Why? Because you consumed the whole powder. There's nothing filtering the compound. Your gastrointestinal system absorbs the compound directly and completely. It's hitting your system all at once. Now let's talk about the calming mystery, L-theanine. This is an amino acid also found in the tea. L-theanine works on your brain by promoting alpha waves, the same waves associated with meditation and relaxation. The L-theanine modulates the caffeine blast, which is why you feel alert but often without the jitteriness of regular coffee. But this calm is a false sense of security. If you slam down a high dose, the L-theanine cannot neutralize the sheer volume of caffeine in your system. Your body is flooded with catecholamines, adrenaline, and norepinephrine, putting your heart into perpetual fight-or-flight mode. This manifests as tachycardia, your heart racing out of control, uncontrollable tremors, and an anxiety that leaves you paralyzed. The real danger comes with chronic, excessive use. The caffeine overload can trigger cardiac fibrillation or a dangerous arrhythmia, where the heart loses its rhythm, seizes up from the electrical shock, and can lead to circulatory collapse. The very drink you take to get focused might be the one that shuts down your heart.
Oxalates, stones, and the biological truth. We've seen the lead accumulating and the heart at risk from caffeine. But the most fundamental matcha trap boils down to one simple truth the trend ignores. We are not herbivores. Our bodies are not designed to consume the entire pulverized and concentrated leaf as if we were a cow grazing in a field. That is why what the plant uses for its defense, your body turns into internal stones. We are talking about oxalates. These are natural compounds found in tea and many vegetables, serving a protective function for the plant. The issue is the oxalate overdose that occurs when you consume the daily powder. Once these oxalates reach your kidneys, they bind with calcium and begin to crystallize. The result is the formation of kidney stones, also called renal calculi. This isn't a vague symptom. It is pain that medicine describes as one of the most intense a human being can experience. The superfood craze grants you an accumulation of crystals that can block your ureters and cause pain that doubles you over. This is nature's warning. Consuming the leaf in an unnatural form is what converts the healthy into the toxic.
The silent betrayal, the energy theft. If the heavy metals, fibrillation, and kidney stones weren't enough, the fact that matcha has become your daily coffee is precisely what activates the last and silent betrayal. While lead slowly accumulates, the iron in your blood slowly reduces. And here is the phytochemical blackmail. Matcha is rich in tannins and polyphenols. These compounds are healthy, yes, but they have a dark side. When you ingest matcha alongside your meal, especially plant-based iron, these compounds don't sit idly by. They have a brutal chemical affinity for the non-heme iron in your diet. In animation, imagine the tannin as a chemical hijacker that finds the iron in your gut, grabs it, and encapsulates it. By doing this, the iron becomes insoluble. Your body detects it, but it is physically unable to absorb it. Day after day, you are blocking the source of your vitality. Frequent consumption guarantees that your ferritin levels are utterly depleted. The result is iron deficiency anemia, the diagnosis received by our patient Ami. The superfood you take to gain energy is the very compound that is robbing your body of the ability to transport it. It is the most intimate betrayal of all.
Perhaps right now you are thinking, they are exaggerating. I drink matcha and I'm fine. And that is precisely the final trap, the one that keeps you consuming. Our patient Ami reported anemia because that is the only damage that shows up quickly, in a matter of 6 to 12 months. Her body gave you the first and only warning that the chemistry was failing. The other dangers operate on a much longer, silent timeline.
Cardiac fibrillation from caffeine is acute and happens in an overdose, but lead accumulates in your bones and brain for years. Oxalates can take months or years to form kidney stones, depending on your hydration and genetics. If you consume matcha daily, you are activating a risk timeline that will hit you long after you've forgotten this video. Anemia is the beginning, not the end. The good news is, matcha is not poison if used wisely. The trend is the problem, not the leaf. Here are the 2 golden rules to protect your organs. Consume away from meals. This mitigates the iron blockade caused by the tannins. And limit your daily dose. This limits the lead and oxalate accumulation that slowly damages your kidneys. Remember this always. We are not herbivores. What is healthy in minimal doses turns into poison when consumed in excess. Disclaimer time. I'm the Doodle MD, not your physician. You must consult your doctor and never self-medicate. Remember this. There are 2 things that are truly dangerous in this world: excess consumption and ignorance. The sole purpose of this video is to create more conscious people and future doctors. Thank you for watching.